And that was my first real exposure to the Ahlul Bayt as I understood it then. I studied with him, I stayed at his house, and when he would come to Columbus, I would stay with him. We became very, very almost inseparable. And he sparked my interest because he would say things like, my grandfather, Imam Jafar Sadiq. It's like, who's Jafar Sadiq? Who is that? What's that about? So he sparked my interest, and then I began to read little books, and I would read all the Sunni works I could find, because the Sunni works were about Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salam were very, very scarce. You have mention of him, small little quotes here, small little quote there, nothing serious about his life, but there were, and I would read. I said, okay. So I would begin studying a little bit more about Imam Jafar Sadiq, and I'd be like, Imam Hassan. Read about a little bit about Imam Hassan, and it was very, very, and in Sunni communities, the great tragedy of Sunni Islam is that there's no mention whatsoever of Imam Hussein or his life. So the works were very, very scarce, but I was familiar a little bit about him. So I would continue studying about the Ahlul Bayt, and I would continue studying, and as I got older, the more I would read a little bit about the Ahlul Bayt here, more here. And one of my teachers in the Tariqah became Shia. And he came to me and started talking to me about Shiism. But everybody in the Tariqah, everyone around him, kind of pushed him to the side and isolated him. So I didn't give him any attention. This was 15 years ago. And he, I didn't give him any attention whatsoever at all. I didn't pay any attention to him, but he would talk to me a little bit about Shiism, okay? And I would learn. So then what happened was my interest started continuing to grow, studying with Sharif Muhammad Lameen. And then I met this beautiful woman in Atlanta, and another life-changing moment. I met this beautiful woman in Atlanta, and I went out there. I went to Atlanta and married her. And Muhammad Abdullah, who originally introduced me to Islam, was there. The best scholar I've ever met. You need to go study with him. You need to go and see him. I said, sure, he's descendant of Imam Hussein? Okay, no problem. So when I met Sheikh Ninawi, I went to his dars, and that was another life-changing moment because he was captivating. Sheikh Ninawi, although he's considered Sunni, he talks about Imam Hussein. He talks about the events of Karbala. He talked about Zayd ibn Ali, the son of Imam Sajjad alayhi salam. He would talk about the Ahlul Bayt, and I began to learn more, and I was captivated. But he also had positions that were clearly Shia. He didn't believe in the Ash'ari position of